All right, so I decided to fire the live stream back up. I think I got it fixed. I don't know what happened. It just cut out on me. I had no idea I was missing videos. I just seen people start moving out. So it is what it is. So we back. We good? My internet looks good. I mean, my internet didn't go out, but I mean, it is raining. It was raining earlier. It's just like it disconnected me from chat. I repopped it, put it back in, and then it said we got problems with your video. And I'm like, man, come on. So I'm gonna mess around with live stream during the week, and I'm gonna live stream Classic. I think Classic I can actually fix it. What's up, QMC? So I figured I'd come back on for about 30 more minutes. Since I didn't get a chance to live stream last week, I'm like, there's a lot to talk about, and we got to, and hang out on a Sunday night. Yeah, right? LS guys. Now, you guys are watching the chat, right? You guys can see the chat like when you're watching me. Or you just don't see a screen of me? Okay. That's cool. So, anyways, going back to what we're doing this week. So, what did I get done with my white car? Well, it's kind of funny you ask. Like, we made a picture of it right there at the end of the last video. And it's kind of crazy because I got the white car almost done. Now, I'm going to shoot a caveat at that and say it's not almost done. What I mean by that is we have to actually, there's a couple custom things that I got to do. You know what I mean? So, hang on a second. I got the turbo on, and it's like I got the turbo on, I got the kit on, like everything actually went really well. I got the headers on, I changed the actual hot side on the turbo, so we're going to run a 96 hot side. We had an 81 hot side on the 351 stock bottom end because it wasn't really all that good, It didn't make a lot of steam. Do you know what I'm saying? So, long story short, yeah, we got out the turbo kit to the cold side. We got through the intercooler, and we came up the side of the fender, and literally the pipe that I custom made for the black car that goes from the mid fender passenger side, if you know how an on3 works, through the hole and comes into the throttle body, there's no way. So we have to take it to the dyno, and we have to actually custom fit that charge pipe. So it took me forever to say something simple, but whatever. We're now fitting the down pipe, and I thought about, how do you guys feel about fender exits? I didn't cut nothing yet. I have a hard time cutting anything on my Mustangs, but I thought about doing a fender exit. Chat okay? Are we having problems again? There we go. Jake, I have a stock 5.0. Can I reuse my lifters and push rods and rock arms if I put an E-cam? Yes. Do not reuse your springs. Replace your springs. Buy the spring kit I like to use is the Trick Flow 2500 100s. That's the actual part number. They're pretty much dropped now. Alex Springs has got some. Late Model's got some. I actually think Late Model sells Trick Flow stuff. So, but it's pretty much made for E7 and GT40 heads because they're so popular or whatever. So, but anyways, as far as the white car is concerned, we literally. I was thinking about doing a fender exit. Rear fender upper, basically coming right off the turbo and just turning past right behind the strut tower, cutting it out right there. I'm not really a big fender exit type of guy, but white car is kind of not super street anyways. Yes. As far as the video is concerned with Dad's car, we're going to do the valve spring video because we're going to make power on the dyno, and then we're going to show you what it does for, what it does for your stability for making power. So we're going to see if it makes more power, because I've never not done valve springs before I went to the dyno for the most part. So we're going to do rockers too. We're going to add rockers right on top of that. We're going to see how much more power. Like, Dad's car doesn't make an astronomical power anyway. So it makes what, 300? So the 30s in the chip that we're going to quarter horse, we're going to try to make a little bit more power so we can get in the 11s with the car. Then we're going to do the valve spring and the rocker video because we know the thing's going to need it anyways. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Jake. I was thinking instead of a Sunday night, doing a Tech Tuesday as well, or add to the same week, or if I couldn't do it on a Sunday night, I can do it on a Tuesday night and people will chime in. But, it's kind of tough to do live streams in the middle of like football season because I do a lot of coaching. But, if I did it at like 9 o'clock, I don't think that's too late for Eastern time. And that's pretty much dinner time for California. I may even try it this week just to see how it is. Like, I don't, don't quote me on it, don't hold me to it, but, just do a Tech Tuesday. Come at me with what you need, Fox body wise, if you had questions, which we could do that here too. I mean, it's no different than what we're doing. But, I mean, in order to be able to, I'm not gonna, I try to do as much Fox body stuff as I can and get as much information out there as I can, because there's a lot of information and there's a lot of changeover. There's a lot of harnesses that aren't the right thing, and there's a lot of hacking going on, and I've seen so much crap in 25 years that I've been messing with them that I like to make the mass air video and the T5 videos. Those videos don't go viral, but here's the nice thing is they're going to always be there. So I did the Feed the Beast video, which was like 40 minutes long, ridiculous, and I should have never done a video that long. But the nice thing about the Feed the Beast video is it gives you a really good idea on how to upgrade your fuel system and get a little more power out of it as far as pressure without actually buying much. You know what I mean? I want to say it's a -8, -10, -10. I went with a Holley EFI, best thing I ever did. See, that's what I plan on doing with the 410 anyways. I think with the white car, I think I plan on doing some sort of aftermarket fuel system. Here's the really cool thing about the white car is, wouldn't it be cool to see how much power an A9L can actually ride with? So we're going to make some really good power on an A9L with the quarter horse safely. And then maybe we'll change fuel system. You see what I'm saying? I want to try to make, who said I can't make 1,000 wheel or at least 1,000 crank How strong are the mid-90s 302s connecting rods with the deep notch cut in the cap? You talking about the four notches, Swifty? You talking about the E7 or the E7 ZE pistons, or you're talking about the F1s, which is basically a hyper-eutectic? But I think with a 351 Windsor-based stroker, I think with an A9L can control it just as fine as anything else could. Now, there's a lot of other really cool goodies that you could have, though. You know, running a Holly with boost, boost control and two-step and all that other stuff. Now, I would definitely like to see 1,000 wheel on an A9L. I think that would set the world on fire. But I don't know if this 410 has it in it. And 1,000 wheel is a lot of power. But yeah, I mean, we can control a lot of stuff with that binary editor. And we will data log it. So, again, what do we have coming up this week? Let's talk about that for the rest of the stream, because I'm only going to stream about 30 minutes on this one. I know we got about 47 minutes in the last stream, but we'll go to 30 minutes here, so we'll cut it off about 9:15, 9:10 EST. Anyways, so I don't know if we're going to race this week on Wednesday. I'm hoping the dyno gets fixed tomorrow. Fixed meaning it's ready, because you guys know I spoke in the last live stream that just happened today. We did significant upgrades to our dyno. So we get that thing pretty much on par. I can get Dad's car in there to get the 30s in it and get the chip tune. That's where I want to go next, because I'm still picking at the white car. QMC, stock bottom end is making 800 plus. You should be able to make 1,000. I mean, dynos all read differently, but again, that's an argument I don't even want to get into. I'm hoping to see 800 wheel. I think if I made 800 wheel, 850 wheel on 410 on Ignite Red E85 or E90, whatever it is, I'm pretty happy. That's 1,000. That's 1,000 horsepower at the crank with an A9L. And we did that with the white car. We got close. We got like 750, 770. What's your fastest quarter-mile run ever? 9.0s. 19s. But I'm stick shift, so you do your math. I refuse to drive an auto. I don't refuse to drive an auto, but I'm a stick shift guy. I've had stick shift my whole life. I got 3 T56s and I got 3 TKO faceplates. I got 3 twin discs. I'm not bragging here. It's just, when you break something, you got to go put something in it. Because if you're going to race stick shift and you're going to live stick shift, you got to have a backup to the backup. Because you will break stuff. Axles, split blocks. I've broken by every part on a Fox body. Pretty much every part. I mean, it's got its place, My buddy Pat goes pretty quick. You guys see that little Easter egg video last Wednesday? Now, he runs a TH400 in that because it's a little bit stronger than the C4. But I like Pat's build. Pat's build's right up my alley with this channel. Stock bottom end, GT40. He built his own turbo kit. I mean, I wish Pat would come in and talk. I mean, but he's kind of a shy guy, so he's a really nice fella. But his car's quick. I watched that car run 9 or 10.0s, 10 teens. I should have made that the Easter egg. But then again, if I gave you the best pass of the year, then everything else would lame. Question 1, looking to upgrade my front suspension to my 91 to eat up the curves. Any suggestions on the dampers? How about the Ebach Pro kit? I like the Ebach kit. That's a good kit. What's the better, GT40 or P? They both rock. Whatever you can get your hands on, Jake, they're both really good heads for production stock stuff. I have an auto 2016 GT. I was boring. I sold it. I get it. Are you planning on boosting it? I boosted GT40 3-bar and GT40P. And to be honest with you, the P made more power. So here's the latest. 9701 compression, heavily ported twisted wedge. Whew. That throttle body's too small. It's all right. It's not too small. Are you asking me for horsepower, Jody? Jake Miller, probably stick with nitrous for a while. There's nothing wrong with that, man. If you're going to stick with nitrous, go with GT40P. The iron 3-bar heads are about 62, 64 cc chambers, and the P heads start at like 90, 59 or something. So it's a little bit better compression. How much power would the 82 GT4 speed hold? None. Sorry, QFC. It's got the 7.5 in it, man. It's like this big. I'm making fun, man. There's no hard feelings on the 82. So, yeah, the GT40P head, I actually, if you look at one of my most viewed videos, it shows my blue GT making like 570 to the wheel, and it was on P heads. What are you going to do to it, QMC? Waiting on head bolts so I can get it together. I'm going in a V8 swap Ranger daily driver. I like the V8 swap Rangers, that's for sure. Man, I lost all my people that was watching. I like the supercharger you put in your dad's box, but I'm going to 100-shot wet kit. Would that be the safe? Yeah, I mean, Mike was talking about doing. He was talking about taking the me taking the supercharger off or disconnecting the belt. And he's got a 30-year-old wet kit that he's got a 100-shot on, and he tells me, he's like, let's put this on and we'll go 11s. To be make a good video. You know, 30-year-old supercharger versus 30-year-old nitrous kit. Oh, well, any ARP head bolts work on twisted wedge heads at 302? If the twisted wedges have 1/2-inch holes, you're going to have to get the like little top hat cats, the caps that go into the hole, so the 302 head bolt can come in. Because I mean, that's what the dowel pin's for. It would walk a little bit. I wouldn't take any chance with that. Check out One Stock Cam. He did a twin turbo Ranger. He's dope. Question 2, what's the best brake upgrade for a 91? Just put some good new drilled slotted rotors on it, Mike. I still have Fox brakes on my black cars. If that gives you any idea. So I learned tonight, don't accept an S550 Coyote test drive. You will love the power. It's the RPMs, man. Hell yeah, that's a race there. What's the better head, 205 AFR or 11Rs? That's a tough one. But I've always been an AFR guy because they port their stuff pretty much max out of the box. Yeah, One Stock Cam made 700 wheel. I know. He makes some good guy. He was in here. He was in the last stream, but apparently I messed up the last. I don't know what happened. They disconnected. You guys know. Trucker Dave, I have an 84 Mercury Capri factory 505 speed with a new GT40 with heads with a 500 510 lift cam. What kind of power do you think that makes? 300. I think you'll make 300. Have you ever ran a powerhouse head? No. Are you talking about define powerhouse? I've never even heard of them. You're not talking about the dyno in Erie, are you? Don't talk about Mike's. Jody, he's been helping me along with my V8 swap Ranger. Yeah, he knows his stuff. I enjoy talking to him. He comes in here. You're talking about the guy one stock cam, the number one. I think that's him. Did you see Brutal's last race video? I did. Convinced me to go 100 shot to 150 soon. Baby steps. That's all I'm going to tell you. Nitrous is like, nitrous is, I'm not even going to finish that sentence. Yeah, Brutal's last video was pretty cool, but that doesn't surprise me that Andrew walked him, because nitrous is so powerful. But if you notice, the turbo was going to catch it. I can't hate on nitrous, but the bad thing about nitrous is you have to turn it on. It's got to be purged. It's not power that's always there. Does that make sense? The nice thing about turbo and even supercharger is the fact that your power is always there at the foot and you don't have to worry about it. Does that make sense? I lived your comment last time. Nitrous makes, yeah. Hoping for the ride of your life. Brutal was missing third gear. Was he? I didn't notice that. QMC, I'm from Washington. I get a set of powerhouse. Okay. Yep, you have to be ready for it going out. What's up, Frogman? When the bottle runs out, you're done. That's what I'm saying. Nitrous, to me, would always be like a really cool mod to do with like a turbo or like a little 50 shot, right? Because I know those guys I race with over at the Thompson, they got a little cheater shot and they got the little buttons that shut the wastegate and all that stuff. I mean, I don't sleep on me. I'm thinking about putting my own little micro switch in myself with a little 50 shot of juice, but it's going to be with my turbo. You know what I mean? Scramble button. That's what they call it. That's it. I watched the Subaru put a head through his hood, put a cylinder head through his hood. Mo, you're killing me. Let me tell you something about part 2. I wanted to do part 2, and I'm going to have to do part 3 because part 2 is just too long, man. Like, you'd be sleeping by the end of the video. Sleeping. Because I'm just like, you got to do this, and you got to do this, and you got to check that, you got to do this. And it's just, there's so much information. Like, part 2 is going to go up to the point to where I'm actually installing the shifter base and showing how I cut it out. And part 3 finishes it with the drive. I couldn't afford a Pro Charger or Turbo yet. I got a deal on it. Man, send it, Jake. Don't worry about money. That's why we're here. It's for fun. Nitrous isn't cheap either, though. So make sure you take your bottle out. So long part 2 doesn't mention bedazzles, we're all good. That's right. I'll be damned if my motor was going in my car teal. End of story. Everybody can laugh all they want. AMC color was not going in my car. When I got there, at that dyno, y'all see my face. I walked over to that motor and I said, that's not my motor. It looks like my motor, but that's not my motor. And he argued with me, that's your motor. And I'm like, who painted it that? It's from space. It's like somebody took a crayon. That's not funny. That's all right. They're my buddies, so joke's on me. Got them. It's okay. It's okay. We'll get them. We'll get them. I got some plans. Paint my motor AMC. Bro, they stopped building AMCs like in 30 years ago or something. Frank, hey, what's the story? Why did he do? He was just, the joke was on me, Frank, that's all. He knew I'd paint it when I got home anyways. The videos you think that are long and boring actually help some people out on how to break it down. Yeah, I get it. I just feel like, it's like what I don't like about YouTube is it takes your video and it literally just plummets it and sticks it under a bunch of other stuff. And it's just like, man, this is really useful stuff. You know what I mean? Need a video on rebuilding drum brakes too. Dang, I just did that too. What do you think that the new motor will do? Horsepower wise, I have no idea. Not only do we have a new motor, Jody, but we have a new dyno too. The rollers and the eddy currents are the same, but the dyno, all the electronics and everything are all different. All right, man, have a good night. Thanks, JPP. You know Tony Whetstone or heard of him? I do not. Got about 5 more minutes, guys. I'm going to get off about 9:15, but I wanted to come back on and talk to you guys that I didn't get a chance to talk to because, you know, I didn't want that stream to cut off, but it cut off on me. So you keeping the same turbo as last setup? You talking about the 7675 Precision? Yes. I actually had that rebuilt. That rebuilt turbo has literally like 5 hours on it. Or like 5 passes. But anyways, it's my birthday week, so I'm hoping to get most of my white Mustang finished this week. I'd like to get some more. I'd like to get the blue car over to the dyno and get it tuned, but we'll see. Yeah, I haven't raced my white car in years. It's got an anti-roll bar. It's got the best axle I've ever built in it. It's got big tires. It's got big brakes, so I don't even need a chute. Whatever. On the swap I'm doing, is it worth using a 97 Explorer computer and harness or invest in something else? I'd probably at least invest in something else. Do you think a blow-through Holley Sniper could make the same power as a multi-port EFI? I don't think so. I don't think blow-through carburetor can make as much. It's just the tunability factor. You know what I'm saying, Jay? What else we got here? What's the Explorer harness computer going? Oh. So we got about 5 minutes left, guys. You guys got anything you want to ask me? 4 minutes. I'm definitely thinking about doing the Tech Tuesday as well, like live streaming more than once. But again, I got a lot of things going on too, so I try to live stream when I can, best I can. Going mass air is worth it because you can modify your car. Now, Mo you can modify your speed density car a lot. You can change its intake. You can change its heads. You can change the rockers. You just can't change the cam for the most part. But I'm about to tune Dad's car, which is speed density, and we're about to show that it can still be tuned like a Mass Air for the most part. The best time I ever went on my white car with the 363 was 9 teens and 156. Thanks, Sean. I appreciate you. How do you decide what size throttle body Mass Air sensor to use when you start changing heads and build horsepower? Have your Mass Air in your throttle body follow your injectors, if that makes any sense. Jesse, which do you think is more reliable on a stock block turbo or Pro Charge? Turbo all day, because the turbo doesn't kick in until you put the pedal down. Otherwise, it pretty much drives NA. Broken tool. I got 1.7 rockers and Explorer intake on speed density setup, and it works fine. Yep. Stock non-HO lawnmower cam though. You're right. That's what's nice about the Holley EFI. You know, that's it too. The Holley EFI is expensive, but it's probably one of the better mods that you can buy, is because it's friendly. It's easy to use. So, all right, we are getting close to the end. Hate to say it. I enjoy live streaming. I wish they do it and cut the other one off, man. We were going pretty strong there. Yes, Jody, I have 2 of my own cars. Me and Dave do. And Kevin. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off there. I wanted to come back on and talk to some of you guys I didn't get a chance to talk to. I appreciate everybody's time. And make sure you guys go check out those other channels like I told you in the last stream earlier today. Brutal, Justin91LX, 5.0 Tussin, Donnie B. Go check those channels out. And if you guys got some channels that you think I need to be looking at, go hit me up on Instagram at Neomustangs. Of course, I got Neomustangs on Facebook. There's some really good content out there I'd like to check out as well. There's some of the smaller channels I'd like to, you know, I was a small channel once too, and boy, I tell you what, if anybody would have shouted me out, it'd have been cool, you know. So I appreciate the birthday stuff, and I do appreciate everybody. So I will see you on the next stream. I might even see you on Tuesday. We might run it up for 30 minutes. I'll see you guys soon. Keep the wheels straight.